I'm pretty sure the property I live on is cursed and I don't know how to fix it. I need help. Urgently. Actually, I don't know if I want help or comfort or the knowledge that someone is listening to me. All I know is that things are getting gradually more fucked up as each passing day goes by, and I don't know how much longer I can take it. In short, I'm fairly certain that the property me and my family live on is cursed and I have no idea how to fix it. And I'm afraid that if this isn't fixed soon then well, I don't know. I just know that things will be bad. Very bad. Like, this shit will follow me for the rest of my life until it takes me bad. I should probably provide some background. My name is Dally. I'm 20 years old, and I live with my parents and my younger sibling in a house my maternal grandparents built when I was a toddler. The house sits on a plot of land in the middle of nowhere, and we have neighbors that sit on each side of us. So we have the beauty of living out in the country but with none of the privacy. Doesn't help when both neighbors are rather odd people, with one being a family that doesn't know how to properly take care of their animals, and the other being an old man with a colorful vocabulary who lives completely alone with the exception of a couple horses and dogs who don't like me. Let's just say that I don't talk to either of them. And I'm okay with that. I probably just vomited out a bunch of information that won't be useful whatsoever. But hey, it's better to give too much information instead of not enough when you're asking for help, right? I guess I'll start with the event that sort of kick-started my suspicions that we lived on cursed property. It was sometime towards the end of December 2020 and I had just gotten back from an excruciatingly long D&D session at my friend's apartment. The session was nearly 4 hours long. And combine that with a 40-minute drive back, I would say it was pretty damn late. My mother had texted me earlier that her and my dad were getting into bed and that I should be quiet when going inside. But she left the back door unlocked and the back porch light on so it would be an easy entry. When I got home, I was exhausted. But I wasn't exhausted enough. Because I swear on everything that I was awake and lucid enough to know for a fact that the following really happened to me. After I parked my car next to the corral in our backyard, the dogs next door, the ones who belonged to the lone old man, immediately started barking at me. That was to be expected as I stated earlier, they don't like me, nor do I think they like anybody. I was slow at getting out of the car, yet also trying to rush as it was unbelievably freezing. There was already a layer of frost coating the grass and each tiny puff of air that came out of my nose or mouth was easily visible. I never liked it out here in the dark. The expansive woods in our backyard that went on for miles always terrified me. I'm just afraid of the dark in general. So not only was I rushing because it was cold, but I was also rushing because I was starting to get creeped out. I locked my car door and went to go and confide in the warmth of my home. However, something kept me from walking any further from my car. Instead, I stood there and stared at the dogs that were incessantly barking and snarling at me. Something was wrong, but I didn't exactly know why. It took a few seconds, but I figured it out. The dogs weren't barking at me. They were barking at something behind me. I wanted to run, but I didn't want whatever was stalking me to catch me. I didn't know what to do. I just stood there, waiting for whatever. Was someone gonna come outside and scare it away? Was it gonna lose interest and disappear into the darkness of the woods? I don't know how long it took me to work up the courage to turn around and look behind me, but I did. There was nothing, just my backyard and the barn. I was confused for a moment, then followed by immediate relief that nothing was actually there. I exhaled and laughed at myself. I got all worked up for nothing. That's usually how it goes for me. I get worked up and paranoid, but it actually turns out to be nothing. My relief was immediately shot down when I heard my dad's voice. Dally. I wanted to throw up. My dad was in the house, and the lights in the barn were off, so he wasn't in there doing his woodwork. Come in the barn. I need to talk to you. I ran. I ripped open the back doors and ran into the bathroom because it was the first room that came to mind that had no windows. I pulled out my phone to text my parents to hopefully wake them up so I could confide in them. It was like I regressed into a little kid. The monsters in the dark came out to scare me, and I wanted to cry to my mom and dad. I've obviously heard about skinwalkers before. And I know that when you come into contact with one, you completely ignore it and pay no attention towards it. But, god damn it, how the fuck do you ignore something like that? My parents didn't respond to me. They were dead asleep. I didn't blame them as I checked my phone and the clock said 3:34 a.m. I didn't want to sleep in my room as it had windows facing directly towards where I heard its voice. My younger sibling was staying at our grandmother's house, so I fell asleep in their room. Or at least I got a couple hours of sleep in, as every single little noise in the house kept making my eyes shoot open and my fight or flight kicked in. A week later, just a couple days before New Year's Eve, our house caught on fire. Chimney fire. I don't know what this single story is going to do in terms of people helping me. I'll definitely post more stories from during the time I've lived here if anyone wants to hear them and chip in. Please, if there's anyone out there who knows how to fix our cursed property, please reach out as soon as possible. I don't know how much longer I can take this.